From the makers of Godzilla and the producers of Planet of the Apes.
Freeze, Stank! I'm just a product of my environment. Sopranos! Hey, for real though, let's get this real dough. Huh? Where the hell you been? Yo, you know the pregnancy test take a long time. Oh, with child. Who is that? I think it's Chris Brown. I know it's his because it keep kicking me. Oh.
They're both.
The idiot, the cheapskate, the resident crackhead, the pimp, the man in a dress. These are a few of the common comedy characters we grew up watching in black comedies. Every sitcom had one, if not all of these, to be the butt of the joke. Comedy is meant to be a mental break from the real world, to boost our serotonin and make us delay pressing that self-delete button. Occasionally, there are some good life lessons you can get from a comedy, but that isn't the point. It's not a TED Talk. Well, these days some of them are a joke.
Swag.
My point is, you would think that when someone slaps a comedy tag on a movie, everyone decides not to take whatever comes out of it too seriously. Usually, that is what happens to all but one of the staple characters I mentioned in the beginning. Nope, not the crackhead or the pimp. It's the man in the dress. The Oracle, Cat Williams, at the beginning of the year, set the tone for 2024, and it's been great. It's been a win for black people, except these two. They let us down. We don't talk about the other one. One of the things he talked about in the interview was how big Hollywood is always trying to put men in dresses. And for Cat, that's a hard limit. And he didn't understand why Martin would want to do it again for Big Mama's house too.
And I'm literally saying to everybody, why is he in a dress again?
'Cause it made money, Cat. They did it again 'cause people enjoy watching men in dresses. They think it's funny. If you watch Big Bad Comedy, which is part 1 of this video, you know it's because of the incongruity theory of humor. Basically, haha, that's weird. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go watch my previous video after this one. Make sure to subscribe and like before you go though. Alright, back to the nut pussy. Boyce Watkins also exposed all the black men that wore dresses for fame in his cute little collage and asked Black Twitter to please name 20 A-list white actors that have worn a dress for the big screen. Some people get so passionate about black actors dressing as women. Some see it as selling out for money, which is crazy because it's not even the most profitable way to make money off of black people. That's propaganda and slave stuff. Others see it as some gay shit.
Don't even send me in for no shit that involves something that I'm not morally comfortable with. Mainly playing some sort of homosexual / transvestite, whatever the case may be.
I'm not even gonna bother with that shallow ass take. And for others, it gets a little deeper than that. They think Hollywood is trying to shut down the black alpha male by emasculating him, which is what we're gonna focus on in this video.
You can get in a dress and it can be artistic, but to me, the symbolism behind it is about shutting down black masculinity. That's just my opinion.
It's not like people are coming up with this out of thin air. They keep hearing people in the industry talk about how in order to get some opportunities, they should wear a dress.
People that are in that field, I'm not there. You're absolutely right. I have no idea. But I'm hearing too many of my brothers speak to the dress.
I never thought too deeply about it because growing up, I saw men of all races in dresses. Shit, Mrs. Doubtfire was our family movie. We never missed it when it was playing. We also watched Mama Jack. Same plot, really. Don't ask me about the race thing. I'd have to watch white chicks and nope, stop it. I'm tired of the dresses videos. I want to do a video on Wakanda, damn it. Anyway, when I've seen white men talk about male celebrities in a dress, they see it more as either an Illuminati humiliation ritual to appease the shadowy cabal that owns everything, or an attack on womanhood, as these women are disrespecting femininity by wearing it as a costume.
You have turned womanhood into a performance, into a comedy, a not very funny one, more of a farce, a tragedy.
But the black men I've seen talk about it make it seem like the man.
Come on, y'all. Y'all telling me there's really a man?
What do you think? Undercover brother? That is your real name? You think things just happen by accident? No. Sometimes people, mostly white people, make things happen.
Is trying to break the alpha black male using a dress. They see it as an attack on their masculinity as a group.
And I started thinking to myself, man,
Why are black men so protective of their masculinity?
If blacks and whites all started off on a fair thing, like, and it wasn't this like white in superiority against black inferiority. It wasn't this suppressive shit. Like when they say, hey, would you play a gay role? I go, most of the time, when you play a gay role, it's just to shut down black masculinity. It's to shut it down, to kill the alpha, because black masculinity has always been a threat to the white majority.
What Gordon is talking about is hegemonic masculinity. It's basically the hierarchy of manhood. At the top, the hegemonic masculine, we got charismatic, well-off white men with the world at their fingertips, and every masculine person aspires to be them and have their privileges. Think Donald Trump. Under him, we got complicit masculinity. Men who don't fit the entire package to be top dog, but get benefits from being close enough to it just because they're white and look like they have a dick. Think any basic white man who isn't actively looking to oppress people but isn't stopping the oppressor, either because they probably don't think there's anything wrong with the way things are, kind of like Nick D from Love is Blind. Under him, marginalized masculinity. Men who can never fit in the first two because they're not white or are disabled or whatever. But some of them are still aiming to be top dog though. So to try to climb the ladder, they emphasize the masculine traits they can, like aggression, physical strength, money, power, or lack of emotions. Think Ed from 90 Day or Andrew Tate. I don't have to get into all that. Then at the bottom, subordinate masculinity. Those sassy guys that are just a little too in touch with their feminine side to ever be respected as a man by the other masculinities above them. You don't have to be gay to fall into this category, but all bottoms fall into this category. Before the white man did their shenanigans, black men had defined masculinities in society that had nothing to do with the whites. Now we got these types of black masculinities that aren't in a hierarchy, but more of a description of groups of African men. We have the Tsotsi boys, the violent types, the Sex Jaro boys, those that are very good with the ladies, the academic boys, the well-spoken, educated, the holy boys, the super holy boys of any religion, the cheese boys, the soft life rich boys, and finally the gay boys. Self-explanatory. Why am I telling you all this? I guess I'm trying to get us to understand what black masculinity is and explain why they feel the need to defend it from the dress, unlike white masculinity, which is trying to defend the dress from the men. White men as a group have never felt the need to defend their masculinity because they have always been the man. They see it as their duty to be in charge. Crazy, right? Because they're doing such a good job. As the people in charge, they need to keep the order, mostly so that they stay on top, and that means keeping themselves in check too. If white men started desiring to be anything but a white man, they're disrespecting the order they're trying to uphold. Because if you, as a white man, start thinking being a white man isn't the best thing to be, then other people might catch on and the order is destroyed. To white men, femininity is something to be protected.
Chief jobs of masculinity is to protect femininity.
Because it's a commodity. They have done their best to preserve the desirability of white women so that they always have the nicest trophy out of all of the races. Since white men are in power, white women also get a taste of that power by proximity. White women, being the standard of femininity and beauty, protects the order. Now, if white men started wearing femininity as a costume and making it look ugly,
They wear femininity like a Halloween costume. It looks ridiculous on him. It looks ugly, profane, vulgar.
then that devalues white femininity, and they won't have the nicest trophy anymore, which will mess up the order again. When the whites set up the order, black people were stripped of their humanity, which meant black men lost their masculinity just as black women lost their femininity. Now that we have some illusion of freedom, we have been trying to rebuild these identities, and it's been tough because somebody always had to get involved and mess shit up. For me, that's somebody's capitalism, but for others, it's black men in dresses. Why? Because putting a big, strong black alpha male into a dress shrivels up his balls and he turns into the worst thing imaginable. A black woman.
Girl, shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
Okay, dramatic, I know. But hear me out. When I was investigating Boyce Watkins' question when he asked us to name A-list white actors that have worn a dress, I saw a lot of white actors, damn good ones too. And not only that, they had range, from loving mother to bratty teenagers and everything in between. It wasn't just in comedies. Some of these movies were serious and interesting. When black actors play women, it's only in comedies. The gag is these characteristics, violence, being excited by danger, and trying to get it all the time, are historically hyper-masculine traits. How is acting hyper-masculine in a dress effeminate? Like, I would get it if they were acting super feminine, being bent over and dainty and stuff. I can see how that can make it seem like they trying to bring down the alpha male, but they just acting super manly, dressed as specific types of black women. It gets even weirder when you realize they're usually in these movies and show up as their male presenting selves as well. And when they're playing these male selves, they tend to be the likable, smart, sophisticated person. But when they put on the dress, they just become insufferable characters to the people around them. Isn't that weird to y'all? We talked about how these bodies were modeled after real women before, but even their characters are modeled after women they know.
So who were some of those influences?
Medea's a cross between my mother and my aunt. And those women were the NC-17 version of what you see on screen. I had to tone her down a great deal.
Their inspiration, a video on the internet.
So there was a thing on the internet called Ghetto Beatdown, where there was it's just about the 45 seconds of a woman beating up her husband, and it's like there's no sound, the guy tries to fight her back, and whenever he tries to fight her back, she beats the at him. She's bigger than him, and you can see him like saying, "Hey, look, you better stop. You better all right now. I ain't playing with you." And she's like, "What is that?"
So, like I said, black women are trying to rebuild their femininity with things like the Hygiene Olympics and BBLs, while some black men are trying to rebuild their masculinity by showing that they are civil, logical, clean, and sophisticated, unlike black women.
First question was, how do I feel about black women? And to answer that, the reason why I don't date them a lot of the times isn't necessarily because of the way that they look. It's because a lot of the behaviors as championed in that community. They weren't naturally taught how to be a lady. They were very masculinized since birth because they didn't have a man figure.
We're not even gonna touch on the whole when a black man makes it, they can get white women trend, because we need to focus on the real conspiracy here. By projecting all the negative assumptions of black manhood onto black women instead of black men, they get to recreate their image next to that negative foil so that the positive aspects of themselves come through more. See, the dark side of this whole man in a dress conversation that people aren't getting is that it isn't about making black men effeminate. It's about portraying black women as more masculine, thereby less desirable as women. And that's funny.
On dating apps, the women that are least desired on dating apps happen to be black women.
You remember we were talking before in the other episode about like masculine energies or those energies. There creates this thing where the women we're strong, independent, X, Y, and Z, and men are not finding that necessarily attractive.
Would you say that men?
The irony is, the black men that hate the black actors for putting on a dress and those actors that are in the dress are on the same side. They're both saying, why would you ever want those people to see us as black women? It's not like when they critique these actors, they talk about how disrespectful their caricatures of black women are. That's literally never the issue. It's crazy how these black men don't even think about defending black femininity because for them, it matters more how black men are perceived. Why? Because when they get their money up, they want to assimilate comfortably into rich white society. And if they're lucky, get themselves a white woman.
He had sex with a white girl, that's what.
Oh, was it everything I dreamed of? She had pink nipples, didn't she?
Yeah.
So they don't have to interact with the black woman they stepped on their way to the top. I'm not going to go into the gender wars between black men and black women because the lore is endless. The point of this video was to show y'all that we need to focus on the real conspiracy. Why are black men so comfortable acting out black femininity like that? And why don't we care? Whew, that's it. That's the end of the dress stuff. I had to read a lot of stuff just to structure my thoughts, and a lot of it doesn't make it into the videos. So if you want to go through the research struggle with me, you can join my Discord, link in the description. The next videos I'm doing, I got like 3 ideas. The first one is what kind of Africa is this? Which is basically going to explore the Black Panther movie and how I saw it as an African. The second, Black is King Where? Which is going to explore Beyonce's work, maybe dive into a little bit of her tippery. And the third one is The Last King of Scotland, which is a movie I watched a lot when I was younger, but I really wasn't registering what I was watching, so I want to refresh my memory. So you can add to my thoughts, correct me, or just stalk my thinking on Discord. If you made it to this part, damn, you must really fuck with me. So follow me on Blue Sky and just put a cook in your comment to make me feel loved. And yeah,